Hello, boys and girls. Today we are going to learn all about phonetic skill 5. But before we do that, let's go back and review phonetic skills 1 through 4. Okay? All right, so what can you tell me about phonetic skill 1? We know that when a vowel is followed by a single guardian consonant, the vowel sound is short, right? All right, so let's look at phonetic skill 1 pattern. All right, so V is vowel and C stands for consonant. V stands for vowel, C stands for consonant. All right, so how many consonants do you see behind this vowel? You only see one. So this skill or this pattern is phonetic skill 1. You have one consonant behind the vowel. Let's look at this word. All right, where is my vowel? Okay, and how many consonants do you see behind the vowel? You should only see one consonant behind the vowel. So this word is phonetic skill 1, okay? And our vowel sound is short. It will say eh, okay? And this word is crab. All right, and before we move on to phonetic skill 2, I also want to tell you that it is very important that you understand that it's what comes behind the vowel that determines the sound, okay? Not what comes before it, what comes behind it. So I want you to really analyze what letters are coming behind the vowel, okay? Let's look at phonetic skill number 2. What can you tell me about phonetic skill 2? Okay, phonetic skill 2 is somewhat like phonetic skill 1. However, as I say, there's a reason why it's called phonetic skill 2. All right, so phonetic skill 2. When a vowel is followed by two guardian consonants, the vowel sound is short. Let's look at that pattern. Again, V stands for vowel, C stands for consonant, C stands for consonant. How many consonants do you see behind this vowel? You guessed it, 2. So this pattern is phonetic skill 2. 2 consonants, phonetic skill 2. 2 consonants, phonetic skill 2. And I can go back and look at phonetic skill 1. Phonetic skill 1, 1 consonant. Phonetic skill 1, 1 consonant. All right, so let's go back to phonetic skill 2. So we notice that we have 2 guardian consonants behind the vowel, right? So when you have 2 guardians behind the vowel, this vowel sound is also short. Let's look at a word. All right, so can you see the pattern? Where's the vowel in this word? All right, how many consonants do you see behind this vowel? 1, 2. So this word follows phonetic skill 2. You have 2 consonants behind this vowel. So this vowel gets a short sound, eh. The word is spend. All right, so let's look at phonetic skill 3. What can you tell me about phonetic skill 3? When a vowel stands alone, the vowel sound is long. Let's look at that pattern. So tell me, you probably noticed something different about this pattern. V stands for vowel. Is there a C? No. So when I'm looking at this pattern, I notice I don't have a guardian consonant behind my vowel. So that means my vowel sound is long, okay? Long and strong. So phonetic skill 3 tells us if you have a word and behind that vowel you don't see a guardian consonant, that vowel sound is long. Let's look at a word. All right, so let's find our vowel. How many guardian consonants do you see behind this vowel? 0, right? All right, so guess what? This vowel sound is long. So when you say this word, you're going to say the long E sound, which is E. And this word is sheep. All right, so let's look at phonetic skill 4. What do you know about phonetic skill 4? Silent E makes the first vowel sound long. Let's look at that pattern, okay? Remember, V stands for vowel, C stands for consonant, and V stands for vowel. So in phonetic skill 4, the silent E makes the first vowel sound long. And notice I said first. So here's something else you want to remember. When you have two vowels in the same syllable or same word, only one vowel can make the sound in a syllable or in a word. Only one vowel. So guess what? The very first vowel gets to make the sound. The second vowel is silent. And that's why we have a silent E, right? We follow that silent E rule. All right, so let's look at this pattern. You have two vowels, right? You have a vowel, a consonant, and a vowel. So the first vowel gets to make a sound, and this sound is long. Let's look at a word that will follow that pattern. All right, so let's see. How many vowels do we have in this word? We have 1, 2, right? Remember, I just said when you have more than one vowel in a word or syllable, only one vowel can make the sound, and the very first vowel gets to make the sound, okay? In phonetic skill 4, you have a long sound, a long vowel sound. Let's look at this consonant. You may be wondering, well, there's a consonant behind this vowel. This consonant is not a guardian. Do you know why this consonant is not a guardian consonant? You got it. It has an E on the end. This word does not end with the consonant. This word actually ends with an E. All right, so therefore our vowel, our very first vowel gets to say its name, the long sound, O. So when you say this word, you're going to say O for the sound. This word is tone. All right, so that is a quick review of phonetic skill 1 through 4. Let's go ahead and dive into phonetic skill 5. When learning all about phonetic skill 5, it's very important that you understand this word, right? All right, so what is this word? Can you guess? That was a good guess. This word is adjacent. Say adjacent. Adjacent. All right, and I know you're wondering, what does adjacent mean? Adjacent means when something is next to each other. Like for an example, the yellow cars that I just shown to you. You notice I had them adjacent. I had them right next to each other. All right, so something that is adjacent is next to two objects that are right next to each other, or you may say side by side. All right, so how does that go into phonetic skill 5, okay? So I want you to think about when we are determining the sounds of vowels, remember I said it's what follows the vowel that determines the sound. All right, let's look at this word. How many vowels do you see in this word? All right, yeah. Two vowels in this word. Now, I want you to think about the meaning of adjacent. Remember, adjacent means next to each other, or you may want to say side by side. So, what do you notice about these vowels? Are they adjacent? Are they side by side? Yes. What is the first vowel in this word? You got it. O. What's the second vowel in this word? Right again, A. So the O and the A is side by side, correct? All right, so how do we mark a word that has adjacent vowels? Let's look at it. We mark every vowel with an X under it, right? We found our vowels. Now, remember going back to what I said, whenever you have two vowels in a word or even in a syllable, okay? Only one of those vowels can make the sound, and the other vowel just has to be, quiet, right? So, which one of those vowels have to be quiet? I want you to think about being a line leader, or maybe your teacher would say, okay, boys and girls, let's line up to go to the cafeteria. Can everyone go out of the door at the same time? No. You have to line up in a line, right? And the first person that's in that line will be the line leader, will be the first person out of the door. And everybody else that's behind, they're going to follow that line leader, correct? All right, so think about words. When you have two vowels that are side by side, that very first vowel gets to lead. So that vowel gets to make the sound. And guess what? All the other vowels have to be silent. All right, so we know that we do not hear the A sound in this word because the A is silent. But should I make should I say this word with a long O or a short O? Phonetic Scale 5 tells us when you have two vowels that are adjacent, the first vowel is long and the second vowel is silent. So when you're saying this word, the O in this word will say O. So the word is boat. What's the word? Boat. Let's analyze this word. All right, so when you are marking and proving your vowel sounds, and when you read from what? Left to right. So we're going to mark this word from left to right. Think about your work in class, okay? If I'm at the beginning of this word, okay, should I mark the B? No. We go under, right? We go under and then we go over. What's the very first thing we're going to mark in this word? You got it. You already know you mark your vowel, right? What's the next thing you mark in this word? The adjacent vowel. All right. Now, what is the next thing you're going to mark in this word? Think about it really, really hard, okay? And this is a skill that you have learned, you probably just forgot. Now you see, ST is a blend. So remember, you have to arc your blends, even arc your diagrams, because guess what? They move together in words, okay? All right, so we have gone under our word. Now it's time for us to go over our word, okay? So remember, when you have two adjacent vowels, the second vowel is silent and the first vowel gets to make the long sound. In this word, the sound is E. So the word is beast. What's the word? Beast. All right, let's mark and prove this word. We read from left to right, so we're going to mark our words from left to right, going under and over, okay? All right, so first thing we're going to mark, you got it. You're going to mark your vowels. Now let's go over, we coming back to the beginning, we mark the A because we know that second vowel has to be silent and that first vowel is long. So when we say this word, we make the long O sound, O. This word is soap. What's the word? Soap. All right, so let's look at this one. What is the first thing you see reading from left to right in this word? If you said CR, yes, that this blend is CR. Remember, you have learned your R blend, so we know that we arc our blends. All right, now after the blend, we see our adjacent vowels, correct? Now it's time for us to go over the word, okay? Going over back to the beginning, we mark our A silent and our E long. When we say this word, we make a long E sound, which long sounds are the names of the vowels, right? Very easy to remember. E. What is this word? Cream. One more time. Cream. All right, so now we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about long vowel sound patterns when they are at the beginning, middle, or even at the end of a word, okay? So I want you to look at these vowels. We have A, E, O, and U. All right, so looking at these vowels, we're talking about adjacent vowels. So we know that we have to have another vowel directly behind these vowels, following these vowels, right? That's the only way they can be adjacent, okay? So what vowel do I put behind these letters to make the long sound that they have to have? So let's look at the A and the U. At the middle of a word, you're going to put an I behind the A and the U. That is the spelling. Almost always. I behind the A and the U. And this is when that sound is at the middle, or depending on the word, it could be at the beginning. But these are for A sound and U sound. For the A sound and the U sound, okay, you're going to make sure that you put an I behind the A and the U. All right, if it's in the middle. Let's look at the E and the O. You would notice that we put an A behind the E and the O. Now you can see A, the E and the A, and the O and the A. You will most sometimes see those in the middle of words, or you may see them at the beginning of a word. So, like for an example, if I look at EA and I put it at the beginning of a word, such as eat, or if I take OA and put it at the beginning of a word, it could be oat. So, looking at these patterns, I want you to really analyze and look at what letter comes behind those vowels. And this is only when you hear the long sound, either at the beginning or in the middle of a word. And we're going to look at some words in a few minutes, okay? All right, so how do we mark these? Remember, we're talking about adjacent vowels. So let's look at AI. Only one of those vowels gets to make the sound, right? So we know that the I is silent and the A is long. So this vowel pattern, and we can also call them vowel teams, this vowel pattern makes the long A sound. A. Let's look at the next one. We have two adjacent vowels, two vowels, but only one can make the sound. So guess what? The second one has to be quiet, and the first one gets to make the long sound. Long E says E. So EA vowel team will say E. Let's look at the next one. Two adjacent vowels, Only one can make the sound, and guess what? Has to be the leader, has to be the first one to make the sound. Second one has to be quiet. This vowel pattern gets the long O sound. O, as in the word boat. Adjacent vowels. First one, the second vowel has to be silent. First vowel gets to make the long U sound. All right, what's the long U sound? U would be the sound for this vowel team. And also, UI can say ooh, depending on how it is pronounced in a word, okay? So either you or ooh for UI. All right, so let's look at some words. Remember, AI will say A. So when we read this word, it will be aid. Where do you see AI in this word? Would it be the beginning or would it be the middle? You guessed it, it is the beginning, okay? Let's look at this word. Remember, AI says A, so the next word would be rain. Where do you see AI in this word? It is in the middle of the word. All right, let's look at E. Eat. Where do you see EA? At the beginning. Let's look at this word. Remember, EA says E, so when we put it in this word, it is read. Where do you see EA in this word? It is in the middle of the word. Let's look at OA. OA says O, so you can guess this word, oat. Is it at the beginning or at the middle? It is at the beginning. Let's look at this word. Remember, OA says O. So when we blend this word, toast, is OA at the beginning in this word or in the middle of this word? It is in the middle. Let's look at UI. UI can say you or even oo. Let's look at this word. This word is fruit. Where do you notice the UI in the word fruit? It is in the middle of the word. All right, let's look at this word. You got it, suit. So where is UI in this word? It is in the middle of the word. All right, so now we're going to look at long sounds at the middle or even at the end of a word. All right, we're going to start with our long I, okay? Down at the bottom, then we're going to make our way to the top. All right, so when we have the long I sound at the end of a word, more than likely you're going to end that word with an E, right in the letter E, okay? So IE makes the I sound. And we're going to look at some words that follow that vowel team pattern. UE would say oo or you, and you will more than likely see it at the middle or even at the end, depending upon the word, more than likely at the end. All right, OE says O, and more than likely it will be at the end of a word. EE says E, so you can actually see EE in the middle of a word and even at the end of a word. Now, I know you're wondering why there's a line by the A, because we're going to talk about a letter that can pretend to be a vowel sometimes, okay? And I know in kindergarten you may have sung the vowel song and you say A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes. What letter is that sometime? That sometime letter is Y. So Y can be a vowel also. It can also stand as a vowel. So we treat it like a vowel when it's acting as a vowel, okay? So in this word, AY, will make the A sound. And just like all other vowels, when you have two adjacent vowels, the first one gets to make the sound, the second one has to be quiet. First one gets to make the sound, second one has to be quiet. It works the same way for the Y. The Y has to be quiet. All right, so let's mark. We have adjacent vowels. Remember, I just told you the rule. One has to be quiet. You know which one. The second one has to be quiet. The first one gets to make the sound. AY says A. Adjacent vowel. Second one is quiet. First one gets to make the sound. E says E. Adjacent vowels. Second one is silent. First one gets to make the sound. OE says O. Adjacent vowel. Second vowel is silent. UE, the first vowel gets to make the sound. UE says U, or in some cases, oo. Adjacent vowel. Second one is silent. First one gets to make the long sound. IE says I. All right, so let's look at some words. In this word, you see a Y. And remember, we've learned that Y can be a vowel, okay? So the Y is silent in this case. We're going to make the long A sound, A, when we say this word. This word is say. What's this word? Good, rhymes with say, pay. All right, let's look at this word. We have two adjacent vowels, E and E. Second vowel is silent. First vowel gets to make the sound. Remember, E says E, so this word is see. What is this word? Feet. Awesome. All right, so in this word, we see the vowel team O-E. O-E says O, so this word is toe. What's this word? Rhymes with toe, begins with doe. A doe is a female deer. All right, let's look at this word. We have adjacent vowels. Remember, UE can either say a oo sound or a U sound. You're right, it's a color, the color blue. What's this word? Rhymes with blue, glue. All right, let's look at this one. We know that IE says I because it has a long I sound, so this word is pie. And what's this word? Rhymes with pie, tie. Okay, boys and girls, we are going to wrap up this portion of the lesson by reviewing phonetic skill 5. So, what can you tell me about phonetic skill 5? Today, you have learned that when you have adjacent vowels, that means they are side by side. Adjacent means next to each other, or you may say side by side. When you have adjacent vowels, the first vowel is long, the second vowel is silent. Let's look at that pattern. If you notice in this vowel pattern, I have two vowels, okay? First vowel, second vowel, and they are adjacent. So when we have adjacent vowels, you can only have one of those vowels to say the sound in the word. So which one of these vowels gets to say the sound in the word? Is it the second one? No, because we learned that the first vowel gets to make the sound, right? So the second vowel is silent and the first vowel is long. And I made a lowercase v, so you'll see that this vowel is silent. All right, let's look at a word that follows that pattern. So remember, if we are marking our word from left to right, we're going to start at the beginning. First thing we actually see is a blend, right? and we're going to arc blend. We're going to pretend that we're arcing this blend, okay? Then we mark our vowels. So X and X. What do you notice about X and X? Yes, or the E and the E. They are side by side. So which one of these vowels gets to say the sound? You got it. The first vowel gets to say the sound. The second vowel is silent. So we're going to mark, draw a line through it to show that it's silent. E will say E. And of course, you know that consonant sound. This word is bleed. What is this word? Bleed. Awesome job, boys and girls. So this will conclude our whole group lesson, but you also have guided practice and you have dictation built into this Nearpod, okay? So I want you to go ahead and continue to do that, and I will talk to you later.